Excuse me.
Oh my God.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Sorry. So sorry. Good thing it's only three of us here. I apologize. I thought I was on mute, man.
That is one way to start a YouTube video and a live stream, I should say, and a Zoom call.
Good thing there's editing, right? We can edit that out.
It's live. What are you talking about? Edit it. That was the way we opened it up. That's hilarious, dude. That's so funny. Well, congratulations, I think, is in order.
Hopefully AI can delete that out for us.
Yeah. We're going to talk a little bit about AI today.
Don, you've been playing around with the Photoshop beta?
I'm downloading it right now. I'm kind of behind on that.
I'm playing with it too. I got a video coming today for it.
Pretty wild.
I have 60. I'm at 69% right now.
Nice. It's definitely beta, but it got some pretty crazy stuff that I've been playing around with.
Well, I also see Illustrator's in beta right now too, so I'm downloading that. I don't know if they have anything in there yet, but
what's up, David?
There's always a beta Illustrator. I don't think they've got, at least from what I've read so far, I don't think Illustrator has it built in yet, but that'll be the day.
Because I'm very curious about when they talked about, doing the sketches.
Yeah.
And then bringing those in and they turn it into lines. You seen that yet?
Yeah.
That's what I'm curious about. So
that'll be sick.
Maybe I'll just have it downloaded and hopefully they'll be ready to go.
Yeah.
It's getting fun. That's for sure. Very fun. Well, I'm actually streaming this. I'm going to double check, but I'm actually streaming this on the YouTube channel. There we go. Looks like maybe Amanda's dialing in. She might be having some internet issues. So the YouTube channel, we are live, which I've never done before, especially not for like a networking call. So if you're watching on YouTube, there she is. I'm going to make her the co-host.
You're watching on YouTube. I apologize.
We started it with a that was pretty fantastic. Dude, the video that I posted this morning is killing it already.
Nice.
I love it.
Yeah, that was a good video though. That was those videos you got. I mean, they're powerful. So I'm telling you, like that's something people want to see. They're like, oh, what? How can I make that? What? I'm new to this.
If only YouTube would actually show my content to people.
Oh,
I feel like they've been protesting me for a while now.
The little one.
My goodness, look at that.
Oh my God.
Can you say
my
perfect?
This is my 1 and almost half-year-old Lily.
There you go.
Lily.
Oh,
hi. That's the best.
She's my mini me. She's literally, there's pictures of me where look exactly the same, besides the little pigtails up top.
I was going to say, you look so cute with pigtails, Corey.
I might have to put my hair, well, my hair's not long enough to do it. I could Photoshop it though, maybe.
I'm actually working on it. I'm going to keep it short on the sides, but I'm going to grow it out on top and see how far it can go again. I've done this a few times, but my hair just like turns into just a giant afro. But funny fact about the name Lily, that is my wife's aunt's nickname that passed away on Thanksgiving. Her name was Linda, but everybody called her Lily or Lil. And I promised her on like the last time I saw her that when I had a daughter, if I have another daughter, that's what I was going to name her. So
nice. Yeah, we call her Lil.
Lil. That's wonderful. Well, let me just check my YouTube stream real quick. We got a few people jumping in and then we'll get started. Looks like we're working. It looks like we're live. I can't see if anybody's actually watching or not. It doesn't show me. Thanks, YouTube. That would be super, super helpful to know if anybody's actually watching. So we got the live chat. So if anybody has any questions throughout this, you guys want to jump in with us, there's a Zoom link. You can check out the Instagraphics Pro Network. You can find the event on Facebook. You can find the event on LinkedIn. It's pretty easy to find. I wonder if I could post the Zoom link. Let me just do this real fast. Hit share. Whoops. Copy.
It is live on YouTube.
It is.
It's working. Yeah, it's working.
My fellow YouTube family, we've never done this before, so this is fun. All right, I'm going to paste this in the link. So if anybody from YouTube wants to join us, can I pin this? I can pin it. So if anybody wants to join us, you can just jump right there into the Zoom with us and join the conversation. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I wonder if 5. What's up, Philip? What's up, David? Got some peeps in here. It's good to see everybody. Thanks for joining. You know what? I just realized, where's Alex? We don't have Alex.
Oh yeah.
Huh. That's
Alex
not like
or
him.
Alex.
I need to
Alex.
hit him up. I need to hit him up on LinkedIn and see what's going on. So I wanted to talk about AI today a little bit more. Let me just send him a quick message. It's not like him. Here we go.
Come on.
There we go. Because I know we're all using these tools, or at least most of us are, unless your name is Corey Bacon.
He's like, never, ever,
Never.
you will never catch me dead using AI.
I'll die before I use AI. He's going to go into one of those, what we call no AI zones. That's going to happen in the future. So I wanted to show you guys and start the conversation with this. I've been reading a book now. I'm not exaggerating, for about 2 years, maybe a little bit longer than that. And when I say read, I mean listen. Because if I were to read it, it'd probably take me 10 years. But this book is a 9.5-hour audiobook. It might even be 10 hours audiobook. And I got to the first 3 chapters of the book and I thought I was going to have an aneurysm. And the book is so deep and is such a high level of like technical jargon that it's like really hard to follow, even for somebody like me that's pretty technical. But as I was going through the book, I was like, wow, this is some pretty powerful stuff. And I can see, AI is going to be big and blockchain is going to be big and big data and things are going to be changing for Google, and kind of left it at that. And then something compelled me about 6 months ago to pick it back up again. And I went from like chapter 3 to like chapter 9. And I was like, wow, this book is really good. I shouldn't have put this thing down. But I felt like this is happening for me, not to me, and happening for good reason. And then I was traveling out of state somewhere. Oh, Arizona, I think. Yeah, to my mastermind. And I decided to pick the book back up again, open up my audiobook while I was on the plane. And I got to chapter 9, 10, and 11. And that's when things really got interesting, because everything that I've been doing now with creating content around AI and learning about AI, the driven mastermind that I was at where we talked about AI, all these AI tools, how I'm using it to create content for Instagraphics, for YouTube channel, for everything that I'm doing has really been impactful for me. But if anybody of you, how many of you guys have read the Bible? Okay. If you ever read the Bible, you see a Bible verse and you're like, oh, wow, that's a powerful verse. Oh, wow, I like that. Like if you read the 10 Commandments by themselves, you're like, okay, these are a bunch of rules and things that I'm supposed to do. And if I don't do these, then I'll go to hell or something bad could happen to me or whatever, right? That's what general people think. But then when you're given context of what the 10 Commandments are, it's like, hey, this is a loving father who's crazy about you, who wants to see you live your best life possible, who doesn't want to see anything bad happen to you, similar to a little child running out of the front door of their house and running out into the street and potentially getting hit by a car. These rules are not rules like do this or you go to hell. These are rules of, hey, if you do this, these are going to stop you from living your best life ever. And so these are guidelines and lessons rather than rules to help you live a better life. So when you're given that context, like I just gave you guys on what the 10 Commandments are, just as an example, it starts to really shift your relationship and how you perceive rules as not just rules, but as loving lessons of somebody who really cares about you and wants to see you do well. Well, the context of this entire book that I got in the very first part where I gave up, and then I went back to it and gave up, and then I went back to it. They were leading up to this chapter 9, 10, 11 of the book called Life After Google. It's a book by George Glider. He's got libraries named after him at universities. I mean, incredible human being. He's obviously one of the most intelligent humans that ever lived. But he starts tying everything together from stocks that I've been recommending to friends and family members. I told a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, before it even got to this chapter, you should go check out Luminar Technologies. It's an incredible company. They're doing amazing things and they're going to change the world, and their stock is dirt cheap right now. And sure enough, the next chapter in the book was Luminar Technologies. They talked about blockchain. They talked about the Thiel Foundation with Peter Thiel and what Elon Musk is doing in this private group of people that he brought together, and Larry Page and all these people, and what is happening in the world of AI right now. And it could not have come at a better time because AI is at this place now where it is essentially sentient, where it has achieved consciousness. Now, the public doesn't know about this because it would freak people out. Google, as of today, and even a couple of years ago, from about 2018 on, could write all of your emails, the entire email for you without you needing to write it. But where you're seeing now inside of your Gmail, if you use Gmail for your email for your business, you're starting to see semantics, right? They call it semantic, forgot the second word for it, but it's semantics, where it's starting to show you the words 2 to 3 words ahead as you're writing your email to try to help you write it. That's AI. That's been incorporated in your email for a while now. Google now has the ability to write your entire email, but they're not releasing that to the public because the public would be freaking out that it knew that much about them. Google's already reading all of your emails, reading your incoming emails, reading your outgoing emails, reading your search history. It knows everything about you. It knows more about you than you know about you. And so AI is at this really crazy place where you're either going to be the type of person that adopts AI and takes control of it, or like when human beings evolved past animals and we got this consciousness, right, from cavemen to now to what we are, if you believe in that type of thing, where we evolved past animals. Animals either became food or they became pets. And so we're at this really interesting crossroads right now with AI. Is like there's going to be a group of people that opt out of AI, opt out of artificial intelligence, and want nothing to do with it. And they're going to lose out on a major opportunity to leverage it to make their life better, to give them more time back, to give them more freedom. And that's my big value is, yes, I'm a creative. Yes, I like to draw. Yes, I like to create quality work. But at the same time, I like my time. I like my time with my family, my friends, my communities like this, right? I love this type of stuff way more than just sitting in front of a computer and designing or drawing on a piece of paper all day. Like that's part of my life, but that's not all of it. Where I really thrive is in doing community and loving on people. So I'm finding that AI is giving more time back to me in order to spend time on the things that I truly want. So leveraging AI and taking control of it and learning everything you can about it right now, I think is really powerful. So that's why I wanted to do on this networking calls. We've talked about how to get to 10 grand a month and how to, all the different tools, but I wanted to kind of open up the conversation for you guys of what has been the most impactful part of AI for you, and where do you see AI going for you personally over the next 3, 6, 12 months, 24 months, 5 years? Like, where do you think this is going to be in 5 years from now? And so I kind of wanted to start the conversation there and just kind of let it ride out naturally. And hopefully as time goes on and people are catching this live stream, they'll jump in with us and chime in as well. Sound good? Awesome. Well, it's a smaller group. Thanks, Philip, for joining. Thanks, David. Thanks, Don. Thanks, Corey. Thanks, Amanda. Must be a busy day for most people, but I wanted to jump in. We'll just start with Don, because I know you're using AI and you're doing some cool stuff with it. So tell us about what you got going on. What are some of the tools and things that you're using, Don, to help you out?
Currently, I've used AI for a few different things to help me kind of speed it up a little bit, right? So I don't write contracts. I don't write consent forms or anything like that. So I use ChatGPT to write me a website contract. I have my sister look over it. She kind of always does. She does that for a living for lawyers and stuff. So she said it looked totally fine. She added a couple little things in there, like maybe change 2 words to sound more professional, but that's it. And then the consent form I used for a photography for the website I just recently did for the arcade, and they need a consent form so they can have people take the photos for them, and they let them play like free games for an hour, and it worked out. Nice. But I did that for that. And again, it's fun right now. It's just fun to play with for like the whole photos and I'm not going to use them professionally, but to have fun with them and even just kind of generate some like weird ideas, right? Just to see just to see if it pops up like a little, like I just created that little lemon guy, but I didn't use it. I just typed in on the Adobe Firefly just to see if something would pop up cool, but nothing did. So I just kind of sketched out my own stuff, but it's cool to like get your creative brain kind of thinking a little more. But as far as that, I've only used it for stuff that I can't do or I don't have time to do, like a contract or a consent form or stuff like that.
The tedious stuff.
Yeah.
Have you used Bard yet?
I have it in my my bookmarks,
Okay.
but I'm gonna check it out soon too. I haven't used Chat GPT since you told me about Bart, but because I haven't needed it for anything.
Yeah, I love
But I
Bard.
also want to incorporate the other ones that you showed me a while back that you talked about, which was like the advertisements and stuff like that. I also want to check out the video editing one that they have where it's just like sections out. I want to check all this out, but I don't have the time right now.
So I'm gonna pull up my screen just to show you that one since you're bringing it up right now because I think this is really important. Let me move this out of the way. So one of the ones that I'm just about to start doing tutorials on and trainings on is this one here, Autopod.
Yeah,
Have
that's
you
the
guys
one.
seen this one?
That's the one I've been like, whoa, look at that. That's crazy.
So it's an extension to Adobe Premiere, which is what I use 98% of the time is Adobe Premiere. And you can actually do multi-camera editing, social clip creation, little offsets, jump cut editor. So you can create the jump cuts in here. I'm just jumping into this stuff and getting familiar with it. And then the other one that I'm using that I did a video on that's actually doing pretty well so far is Descript. So these are the two main video editors. I love Descript. I'll show you guys it real quick. Let's pull this open here. There it is. So it's so simple. Like if I were to just pull open a project, it's insane. Like here's the actual script of the video. If I just want to do like a new scene in here, like let me try that again. Like I had a little // boom, it just created this new scene inside of this. And then I can take this scene, I can go up in here, I can hit videos, and I can type in like training, right? And it'll give me a bunch of videos on training, and it'll insert that clip right over the top of it, and then I can shorten it, lengthen it. I can make it as long as I want. So there's the clip here. Let me make this a little bigger so everybody can see this. So I can just come here and I can make it shorter, and you can see it even as it's going along. It's highlighting the text of where it's going to be.
Oh,
like
wow.
if I wanted to go like right to the end of like planning, and then on the front side I can start it a little bit later. I wanted to start it right at training, and then you can see here once I click, just go typical videos where I'm training and teaching on certain topics. So you're gonna have videos 5. So if I want to make that shorter, obviously, which is I think I would want to go like on certain topics. There we go. So now it's just, and then we're gonna do typical videos where I'm training and teaching on certain topics. So you're gonna have pretty cool, and that's how easy it is. And so there's multi-camera editing, and I mean, this goes pretty deep. So I'm going to be creating more and more tutorials on this type of stuff. But it just goes to show you like these AI tools for making video alone is pretty insane.
Right.
So can I ask you, did you use either of those on the last two videos that you posted?
Yes. I used Descript to do the rough cuts. Then I brought the rough cuts into Adobe Premiere, and then I color graded them in Adobe Premiere because I know how to do color grading in Adobe Premiere. And then I added my background music. Now I could use all of it to do that inside of Descript, but I'm so much more familiar with Adobe Premiere than I am Descript that it was just more comfortable for me. But the rough cuts are just so easy with Descript and comparison to anything else I've used before. Being able to cut out words and do jump cuts super fast, it's really nice.
Yeah, because those last two videos were really good. I really liked the style of them and how they were cut, and everything inside of it. They were just really well done. So that's cool to see the AI is making that better and easier.
Yeah, the last piece I think for me is going to be figuring out how do we do the motion graphics that we do. So the last video I just posted, it has like the little the tear and the sound effects and the pop-up graphics. You can do text pop-ups, like it'll put up text where you want in Descript, super easy. You just hit the little plus sign and it'll hit like you highlight the text and you hit plus on little captions, and you can create like almost like captions like you see in your social media videos. It's super, super easy, and you can change drop shadows and colors and make them look like Alex Hormozy stuff. But my thing is actual motion graphics, animated graphics and images and video footage that goes over on top of my video. That's the stuff I haven't gotten into yet. I watched an entire video yesterday with Matt Wolf where he took a bunch of Mid-Journey images and then he brought them into, what's that tool where it clones your voice? Anybody know? I can't remember I keep forgetting the name of it. It's really popular. It clones your. It can clone any voice.
It's 11.
11
pages
labs. There
yeah,
you go.
11 labs.
So he took 11 labs and used Owen Wilson's voice and made a Wes Anderson video out of it, and then used another tool for the video to animate the lips and the face. You guys should check that. It's one of his last few videos that he did. Really neat. It says Wes Anderson. I think it's got like Owen Wilson as Batman or something as the thumbnail. Freaking hilarious. So like that's kind of on the level of some motion type graphics, but that's where things are starting to get really advanced just on the motion design, video editing side of things, which I know, some of us are using here. So yeah, thanks Don for sharing that, because I know Bard, ChatGPT, and now Firefly. I just got access to Firefly yesterday, and that was like, whoa, inside of Photoshop.
Oh, what do you mean?
So I'll share it with you real quick. So if I go to Photoshop beta, right, and let's just say
they just added it like a couple days ago, where you can actually access Firefly inside of Photoshop now.
So let's just say I want to take this off of my shirt and put something else there. I would just literally highlight this, hit generative fill. I got to agree to it, and then I can type in alien riding a skate. See how good this does. Skateboard.
Yeah, good actual live test right now to see it, how it does.
Yeah, it keeps telling me that it's busy. It's busy. It's busy.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
how many
sure.
people are probably using this right now?
Yeah.
Same. So we're gonna see how good this actually is live streaming on YouTube here in this networking call. Here we go. Oh, the system is currently busy.
There you
What
go.
the heck? See,
It's like when ChatGPT first got released and it was just like freaking overloaded.
Yep.
Yeah,
Frustrating.
I can imagine
Exactly.
Thank you for your patience. Please
that.
come on. We got to get this to work.
I have seen this on something different. Wasn't using Fireflies or this, but it was something. Matt Wolf is who. That dude. Knows
What
everything.
in the world? Let's see here. That's not. Oh, I guess I didn't specify what kind of alien. I mean, it took the thing out of my shirt. That's for sure.
If you had like selected more of your shirt, like it's making the alien lay down. So that's like one of the constraints is like it only will replace what you actually select. So if you wanted it across your whole shirt, you would need to select like your whole shirt.
Alien
Right.
gray
Keep it out of
with
the wrinkles, too.
skateboard. We got it to work though. I mean, it took out that text off of my shirt. See if it does it again this time. Come on. You can do this, Adobe. You got this. Imagine the servers that they have to be able to produce. What in the heck? It's like a skateboard on a skateboard.
Yeah.
It's like a skateboard on a roller skate.
Some of it is pretty wild. Like Corey just said it. Yeah, you can tell it's definitely beta right now.
It's definitely beta. I've seen some cool stuff like pulling like streaks out of photos and things like that on the ground. And that's one of the demos that they have of this thing. But yeah, I mean, I think these are some great tools. We got a long ways to go, but if we start learning these and getting ahead of the curve now, like I was on, I don't know if I still have it open. I'll show you real quick before we jump on to the next person. I'll just go to Discord, pull this open. How many of you guys are using Discord? The Midjourney bot in Discord? Yeah. So I'm using it on a regular basis. I'm making these characters for Lead Butler right now for our website. It was making some creepy ones. I spent a lot of time this morning. I'm like, dude, look at this guy. This guy's creepy. Like, there's some creepy characters. I don't want to go creepy. I like this guy.
Have you gone into your settings and updated the settings? Adrian?
Oh yeah, yeah. And then I took a picture of me and I combined it to try to make a robot, Lead Butler, which was hilarious. It was really funny. These guys were kind of cool, but they're also a little creepy. The one I want to use that I shared on Facebook yesterday, look, there's a song by Primus called Too Many Puppies. And Sonny's like, make a Too Many Puppies. And so I made a Too Many Puppies. It's like one of our favorite songs. But this is the guy that I'm going to end up using probably for Lead Butler as our Lead Butler character. He's friendly. Yeah, so been working on this guy. I got a few different characters. I've been playing around, testing out some different ones. This guy is cool. I just feel like he's a little too old. But yeah, pretty cool concept. So yeah, Midjourney's fun for AI. So without taking up all the time, me chatting and showing you guys this, I want to jump over to somebody else. So Corey, what I opened it up with was just talking about kind of the state of AI and learning how to use it and take advantage of it and buy back your time, right? Give you more freedom. And how this book that I'm reading by George Glider, it's called Life After Google. You should read it. It's insane. You can listen to it on audiobook. It's like a 10-hour audiobook, but it gives you context to everything that's happening right now for the last 20 years that led up to the moment that we're at right now. And so it gives you the full picture. You're like, oh, the 10 commandments aren't just trying to tell me what to do. No, it's like, oh, they're trying to help me live my best life and protect me like a loving father, right? It's the context that everybody needs to, I think, see AI for what it is. And we are no longer the superior intelligence on this planet anymore. And that made it very, very clear. There's going to be AI robot kings. There are going to be AI bionic bodies that are going to space on our behalf. So human beings don't have to, die doing space travel anymore. Like so many things that are crazy in this book that'll blow your mind. All the self-driving cars, company called Luminar Technologies, which I'm heavily invested in, is making a technology that is going to eliminate car accidents and fatalities in cars. Like 100%, no more car accidents. If anybody they're driving in this kind of car with this technology, you will have no fear of being in a car accident ever again and dying in a car accident, which is one of the most dangerous things that we do in society. So it gives you all this information, and it's absolutely mind-blowing. The guy started the company when he was 12 years old and went public with it at like
Wow.
or something. So they've been doing a decade of research building this thing out. So AI is just at this crazy place. As creatives, we're using it in our business, from Chat GPT to make content, help clients build websites, do CRMs like Corey and I are working on right now with Lead Butler, and beyond, and chat and have conversations with clients with AI bots and do outbound organic outreach. So, because I think one of the things that I'm looking for, and I'm hoping somebody brings this up here, is the prospecting side of the creative agencies and the creative business owners, creative entrepreneurs. It's like, I hate doing prospecting. I'm good at it, but I hate it. AI can remove that part for us from our day-to-day lives and do it for us and do all the prospecting for us. So I'm curious if anybody, maybe Corey can jump in on this, if you're using AI right now to do any prospecting for you.
Well, we will be shortly, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest, I use AI for a bunch of different things. For prospecting, I mean, from my social media post, and like, I don't, look, if you read my post when I wrote it, or you read it after I put it in Chat GPT, trust me, you're absolutely going to want to read the one out of Chat GPT. It's my thought. It's the things that and it goes with email. That goes with, it goes with even content on our resistance site. Like I use Chat GPT for that stuff. Let me make it really clear though. If you don't know what you're putting into Chat GPT, that's when you're going to have problems. If you don't know what you're putting into Midjourney or how to, there's the prompts, like I'm sure you just went over. If you don't know how to do that, you're just going to be completely jammed up. And this is what I'd like to say about that. You don't need to stop there. You got to dig a little bit to figure out what these things do and how they work, because it is the future. The future's here. Like, if you don't understand this stuff, you're going to be left behind. And I'll tell you one of the things that I can't go into great detail, but one of the things that I've been working on really for the last 6 months is a call center AI. What that means is we use different data points that, the home services industry, everybody records their calls and they have transcripts, but nobody really goes back and listens to them. There's a lot of value to be found inside of those calls. You can figure out if your CSR's burning calls. You can figure out if they're, maybe they're hungover that day, right? Whatever it is, but we can tell that immediately when they hang up, right?
Yeah.
And we do that through sentiment analysis and a bunch of different data points. Now, I'll ask you, Adrian, do you think that most chatbots, I was on a different AI call yesterday, do you think chatbots use sentiment analysis?
I don't think so. Not right now.
They don't.
Uh-uh.
So I was on a call with a guy yesterday, which we could talk about this later, that they've essentially imported certain books, right? If you ask it a question, it'll give you the answer in the context of the book. Win Friends and Influence People is one of the books that they have in there.
Yep.
So if you've got the data, that's the key thing about this. If you're really talking about AI, if you have big data sets, and they're in most companies do have big data sets, whether it's customer service calls, whether it's transcripts, whether it's anything, any kind of data you've got. AI can take and transform that into massive products and massive ways to get ahead in the market.
Oh yeah.
And most people don't use that data. They just
So
don't.
so what's cool about this is you got this sales background and understanding how important the sentiment side of things are. And that's what a lot of, graphic designers, we really struggle with sales. We want to just be behind the computer, creating, designing, using our imagination to just solve problems with design. And so the sales side is something they've always struggled with. So I see this as a tool that can really empower the creative to kind of take their business to the next level. But it's funny that you're here in this group because you're kind of the opposite. You're the sales guy that's now using AI on the creative side to empower your sales. So there's like this back and forth of like harnessing creative of AI, and we can harness the sales of AI, which I think is a really powerful conversation in itself. We could have a whole networking call just about that and how those two really complement each other. So that's neat. I was listening to something yesterday and I'm trying to remember. Oh, so there's a guy named Doug Botten, who's part of ClickFunnels. You guys know who Russell Brunson and ClickFunnels is, who was interviewing a guy, Justin, who's really close with Russell Brunson. And he read Russell Brunson's book and where it talked about the Dream 100. And so he targeted Russell as his dream client. And he found this auction that was happening in Los Angeles where they had a bunch of Napoleon Hill's stuff. And if you guys know Napoleon Hill from Think and Grow Rich and all the different books, well, they were auctioning off his stuff. And Russell's like, I can't get down there because he's in Idaho. He's like, if you can go there for me, I'll pay you to go down there and I'll give you a bunch of money to buy all this stuff. I want you to buy as much as you can because I have this library I'm building out that's going to be insane. And so he gives him $300,000 to buy all this stuff at auction. Well, he ends up getting a ton of stuff, books, and just an endless amount of stuff. And he only pays $30,000. And what he started to talk about was how Russell Brunson is building an AI, and it's done already, where they're taking all the information from Napoleon Hill, all of his books, all of his content, all of his articles, all of his speeches, every video he's ever created, his voice. They've replicated everything, and they're building out this event space library where there's going to be an actual hologram of Napoleon Hill who you will be able to have conversations with and who will dialogue with you in a hologram and be able to give you advice and solve problems and answer questions. And I'm like, dude, and this is like a year ago. They were doing this a year ago. So imagine where they're at now with this stuff. So imagine we're going to have conversations. We're going to be able to have conversations with people like Einstein and like get their real-time knowledge at everything they wrote about, all of his papers. It's insane to think about where AI is going to help creatives and even you, Corey, salespeople leverage and get more leverage within our spaces to kind of really help more people is ultimately what I'm thinking is going to be used for.
Well, Adrian, imagine this. So the last thing I'll just say this really quick. The guy I was talking to yesterday, he's like, well, so if you got an owner of a company that the website is now, you get to this chat bot, so to speak, for everybody listening, that'll be the main thing that makes most sense, but it does exactly what you're saying. And so you get to it, you say, hey, I want, I've got an HVAC unit, for example, and it asks you the questions that because it's trained on the model, it's trained on the data set of the company, right? So it has all the information there, all that information sitting there. It's pretty dope.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Well, thanks for sharing that, Corey. I think that's really helpful, kind of give people an understanding of how it can be used on the sales side to help our businesses. Because I know there's prospecting, there's the pitching side, like using AI to make your pitch decks. I'm using it. Using AI to actually help you close deals and develop proposals and develop contracts. Like there's almost endless use cases now for this technology. So with all being said, let's jump over to somebody we haven't heard from in a long time, and then I'll jump over to Corey. But Philip, you around, buddy?
Hey.
Long time no see.
Yeah. So just talking about how we use AI in our work.
Just maybe some of the tools and some of the things that you're doing to leverage AI to help you.
So I use primarily to AI software. So ChatGPT, I use a lot to generate speeches. I have to get in front of people and talk. And so it helps me make it that base layer, and then I can, add my flair to it.
That's right.
Letters of recommendations for friends that reach out and who are looking for that when they're looking for employment. Character references, I use it from time to time as well. And then Midjourney, I use that for, book covers, flyers, event tickets, programs. It's just kind of a base layer. It gets me part of the way, but it never gets me all the way. So I always have to either take it in Illustrator or Photoshop or Procreate and modify it to meet the needs. Sometimes it has like a third leg on it. Like I don't need a third leg to go in and take it off, or some weird thing happens.
Or
so
hands that are like the weirdest hands.
Yeah, the hands are weird. The backgrounds, and the shape that Midjourney creates is not like an 11 by 17. So it's not like an 11 by 8.5, when you go to print.
Yeah.
So you always have to modify the artboard and enhance it, and that sort of thing. So
you know about aspect ratios in Midjourney?
Aspect ratio, I haven't really played around with that, but
well, just to jump in there, it lets you, if you type in --AR and then set an aspect ratio of like 2:5, like that'll make it shorter and taller. So you can, like, there's any different number of aspect ratios that you can get it to be like full sheet sized, or lengthwise, or whatever you want. Just something worth looking into, so that you're not just working with a square, but you can make it the shape that you need it to be too.
Sure. So this is a Midjourney prompting guide that I made with a template for digital marketer and for my community here, and I actually made a video on YouTube about this. But this is the template that I use, the prompting template, and I've color coded it so you can take the colors out of it. But I use this to signify each of the sections. So this is the order and how I build them. And then you can see here on this guide, I can just share this with you guys. I can put this in the chat. Let me move this down. Hit share, copy link. Let me go back over to Zoom real quick. Whoops, let me move that out of the way. Where's the chat? Chat. Here we go. I'm going to send this off to everybody so you guys can see this, everyone in the meeting. There we go. So these are the aspect ratios that Midjourney now supports. Lots of different aspect ratios, and I'm sure they're going to add more. And you could probably even come up with, like, I noticed yesterday I did one by accident, and it was 9 by 19 or something like that. It was like 19 by 9 instead of 16 by 9, and it actually changed it. And I was like, whoa, it made it a different aspect ratio. So this is something that I would Phantom Buster. This is interesting. So yeah, this is something that I would be using if you're going to be doing aspect ratios. Just reference this guide. This will help you with your prompting. Hopefully speed some things up for you.
The most common art style I use is vector style.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What do you usually use?
I use vector style or illustration. I like those two a lot. I started off with usually professional illustration or award-winning illustration, or award-winning vector design, right? And I use vector quite a bit in the stuff that I'm doing. If I know it's going to be only for web, that's like one of my Butler characters, I won't worry about it. I'll just do photography, like award-winning photography or professional photography. But if I know I'm going to be needing to scale it up bigger, yeah, I'll use vector for sure.
All right. Well, yeah, those are the two main ones that I use. So
have you used Dolly or anything else yet?
No.
Not yet. Dolly's the next one. So we have our platform I talked about, Lead Butler, where we're building Dolly into that. So we're going to have it to where our Lead Butler system can write your emails, write your text messages, write your landing page copy, write your website copy, like everything. And then we're building it into where it'll actually be able to make the graphics for those pages, for those emails as well, all within the platform.
So doesn't Canva have something similar? But it does, like the last time I looked, it was garbage.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a Canva person. I know Amanda uses Canva. I've used Canva like 3 times ever.
They did start to work in AI into it so that it functions similar to Midjourney, but it's definitely, I would say it's almost in beta mode. It's just like preschool level stuff right now. They're still working on it for sure, but it's there.
Well, that's really cool. Well, it's good to see your face again, Philip. Thanks for showing up, and I'm glad you're doing well. Everything's going good in your world.
Everything's going great. Thanks, man.
Awesome, man. It's good to hear. All right, well, let's jump over to Mr. Corey Michael.
Yeah. Yeah, I use AI all the freaking time. I just everything from writing prospecting emails, right? So like I'm right now, my main kind of, so I've got two, I talked about this last week. I've got two.
Hey Heather, this is Jason.
Two kind of client avatars I'm going after. My main one, which is really like marketing directors, marketing managers of companies that have a budget, have direction, have a plan. They just need a creative team to fulfill. So like I wrote an email to one the other day about that I've just been doing some spot work for. And I want to turn them into a monthly client. And so I gave ChatGPT an outline of here's the points I want to hit, turn it into a casual toned email just talking about my services, and wrote it up. And she emailed me this morning and she's like, she wants to talk about
there you go.
Look like. I do a lot with like logo designs and stuff, like all in thinking of business names and just creatively, like, so before I kind of go down that road, my other kind of client avatar I'm going after are comic book shops, because I'm a huge nerd. And so I sent out 40 emails yesterday to a bunch of different comic book shops, really kind of across the United States, just kind of here and there, that I had my assistant grab some info for that don't have websites. And so I had ChatGPT come up with a kind of casually nerdy sounding email that, you know, helped me connect to them. And then I added some of my own spice into it. Right. So I'm doing some light editing of everything I get.
Wow.
So that's helping me out. So anyways, but then like for business names and stuff, people are like, oh, I'm thinking about starting a business. I'll go into ChatGPT, say, give some business name ideas for a company that does this, this, and this, you know, find one that sounds cool. Then I'll say, okay, give some logo suggestion descriptions for this name. And it'll give me a bunch of descriptions. And I'll say, now phrase them for Mid-Journey. That'll give me like a list of nouns and adjectives and, you know, some phrases. I'll put it in a Mid-Journey, see what kind of logos it comes up with, you know, and I'll add in like simple logo or ornate logo or whatever the feel needs to be. I'll find something there. I'll pop it into, I'll find something on Mid-Journey I like. I found this site that is really one of my most game-changing AI sites, which I'll put it into the chat. This will upscale low-res images into super high-res images. And it's free. You have to log in with a GitHub account. But then like you can take anything that's low-res, like everything on Mid-Journey technically is low-res, even though it give you like 2000 by 2000 pixels or whatever. It's just like, just kind of blurry and stuff. So this will blow it up and like sharpen everything, and it looks freaking awesome. And then I'll take that, put it into Illustrator, trace it, you know, and use the auto trace feature. So, and then convert it into paths and then edit whatever I need to. So that's like a very like standard workflow for me to get stuff done.
That's wild.
And then I'm using it right now. I started a kind of a side hustle of psychedelic stickers. It's called Psychedelic Sticker Co. .com. And it's not up yet, but I'm using Mid-Journey to create. I'm just doing like psychedelic style animals and people and just different things, and it's like super sick. And then I'm using ChatGPT to come up with some SEO friendly item names and descriptions that I'm uploading to Printify, which is a print on demand store that I'm connecting to Etsy. And so I'm taking the images that I develop in Mid-Journey for whatever, you know, my stickers are. And then I have to do some light editing in Photoshop, put them into Printify, and then those upload to Etsy for print on demand. So
I could see Amanda smiling from ear to ear in her eyeballs. She's holding back her smile. This is gangster, dude. This is so cool.
So yeah, it's been fun. I mean, for me, like, I mean, I can do copywriting and stuff like that when I want to. I just don't really want to. I'd rather it is really like a co-pilot. And it's funny, Microsoft calls their or GitHub calls their AI version co-pilot, but it is like a co-pilot for me, like a creative co-pilot, like design ideas, logo ideas, name ideas, copywriting, all that kind of stuff. I've been able to incorporate it pretty heavily into what I do. So
is there anything about AI that you've seen yet that concerns you, like on a moral level or any level?
yeah, I mean, there's of course the gray areas, right, of how the information and images are collected. Like Midjourney just scraped, people's artwork without permission and all of that. What I love about Adobe is they're training it on their own images that they've got licensing for, and right. So that's brilliant.
Right.
Apple, I don't know if you guys have heard this, but Apple is working on their own version of 11 Labs voice cloning thing that they're incorporating into Siri. But you can, it's an accessibility feature, but it will be used by people where you give it 15 minutes of your voice, and it will let your phone speak with your voice, whatever it is that you want it to speak. And so like that compared to, I don't know 11 Labs practices, but like there's other voice cloning stuff out there. Like they just like, I mean, there's artists, like musical artists that are having their voices cloned right now and creating music out of it. Right. There's some kind of stuff. So that's the concern kind of thing, right? Like with, even there's some rising scams of people using loved ones' voices and scamming people out of money or whatever.
I heard about that. Yeah.
And so those are always going to be those kinds of concerns and stuff. But for the companies that are like doing it a legit way, removing the gray area of taking things without permission, all of that, I think that provides good opportunities. And in a weird way, I think it actually gives creators, whether a writer or an artist or whatever it is, better ways to monetize by putting your stuff behind a paywall. And if you have super fans that really love your stuff, whatever it is, again, writing, artwork, whatever, like you can still give people access to that just behind a paywall, $5 a month, $10 a month, $100 a month, whatever. So they don't have to worry about people, these companies just grabbing your data or your IP or whatever, but still people can get the benefit of consuming your work.
Man.
And then you can license out your work and say, I give permission to these large language models to take my stuff or whatever. So I don't know. I think it creates more opportunity than anything.
Yeah. I do think that there's some downsides to it when, with the Chat GPT press conference thing that they just did in front of the US government. And that was like a 2.5-3 hour thing. Is like there are some concerns, safety concerns and crime and deep faking and stuff going on like that. Like I saw Eminem was like trying to sue somebody or something because they took his voice and made a parody YouTube video off of one of his songs or something. And I was like, oh man, like, and then like the movie industry, like think about how easy it's going to be to take an image recreated in Midjourney of a specific like William Dafoe, right? And like Matt Wolf did, and replicate an entire movie. And render it very quickly. So I think, I mean, AI, because what people don't know too, and the book starts to teach about is there's AI, then there's big data, and then there's deep learning. And what deep learning is it basically uses AI to replicate how your brain works.
Yeah.
And there's even deep learning laptops now that are out there. A company called Lambda, where you can buy, it looks like a MacBook Pro. It's called Lambda. You could buy a deep learning AI laptop that will literally learn, and you can tell it to do whatever you want it to do, and it'll start to work for you and carry out tasks and stuff, which is insane. Corey just dropped a link. What is this? Is this your podcast, Corey?
Yep. All done with 11 Labs.
What?
Swear to God. Every bit of it.
Nice. Let's check it out.
I'm gonna have to check that out too. It's super.
Sounds better than my real one. Yeah.
But does it have your personality? That's the big thing that I've noticed is it was like MyGen, I think, is an AI video tool. I watched a guy create an entire course. Jonathan Montoya, he created an entire course with AI, with the AI avatar with the AI voice, 11 Labs voice, the script off ChatGPT, like literally built the whole course, launched it onto Skillshare, and had 11 people that signed up the first day, and he started making money off of it. Entire course built off of AI.
That I would just wanted to see if I could get that ranked, and it has ranked.
Wow,
The podcast, yeah.
that's wild. That's super
Yeah.
wild. Well, thank you for sharing that, Corey. That was some really valuable information. Let's jump over to Amanda, because I know she's been playing around with some AI stuff, and then I'll kind of close it out with just some kind of closing thoughts and some of the other tools that I'm using.
Yeah, I haven't been using enough of it apparently, but actually Forbes Riley just shared a video a couple days ago where she made an entire course using AI as well, and it did so good. It's like, and then she had the landing page built out all using ChatGPT, and it was amazing. I couldn't believe it. It was so fast. She did it in a couple of minutes. So yeah, big names are all over it already. I use ChatGPT every day. So right now, mostly I'm using it to help write out emails. I've been emailing everyone in our database with semi-custom emails on a regular basis. About once a week, I'm reaching out to almost 5,000 people in our CRM with different things. And I let ChatGPT write it, but everything it does when I have it write an email is way too long. So I do have to go back and make edits and shorten it. And every once in a while I have to take a little bit out of it. But for the most part, it writes all of the prospecting emails. I also use it for LinkedIn because I'm constantly reaching out to people on LinkedIn. So it helps me come up with the conversation, and then it also helps me come up with ideas for continuing that conversation later on. But lately in our Lead Butler platform that we use for our LinkedIn automation, they incorporated ChatGPT into the system so that it helps, like I can pull up a LinkedIn conversation and it will come up with an idea of what to say back. It reads it and it'll literally come up with an idea of what to say back based on the entire conversation we've had. So I've been playing with that, using that a lot more lately, and then also using it to write articles for one of my other companies that I'm working on, because I don't have time to work two separate jobs right now at all. So once a week, I have it write an article for me for real estate investing, and it does a really good job. So yeah, I've been all over ChatGPT and our Lead Butler platform, but that's the most of what I've done. I do really want to start playing with images a lot more, just because I don't want to have to be creating images all the time for different social media posts. So that's something that I want to do, but I just opened up Bard, so I'll probably be using that too. I literally signed up for it while we were sitting here, so I'm taking notes on all these programs.
Yeah, it's really powerful. So ChatGPT just released a bunch of extensions, I guess, that you can buy to have basically functions and features like Agent GPT and Auto GPT that'll actually carry out specific actions. And then you can have like I met a guy yesterday, Alex, who's using one of the extensions to build out. He built a scraper. So he had like a social media scraper he built for scraping Facebook, scraping LinkedIn, scraping YouTube, scraping all these different places. So you can build scrapers off of with AI now and using these chatbots. Like I think Corey in his in and out Zoom video, that's an AI tool, isn't it? See? Yeah. So even Corey's using it for just a simple thing of following him around on his videos. I think his AI might have ADD though. I think it got ADD. Sometimes it's like it doesn't know what to do. Like I think I'm gonna go over here. Oh no, wait, I'm gonna go over here. It's pretty funny.
Hilarious. It's hilarious when I'm on a call and that people don't know, and it goes.
Yep, it zooms out. That's really funny. So I just posted a link down in the comments. Do we still have David with us? I think he may have dropped out. Let me see here. I want to make sure I don't skip over him. Let's see, attendees, participants. Yeah,
it looks like he dropped.
Okay, that's fine. So I dropped a link to the Google blog which has a lot of content around AI. I'm finding a lot of good information on that, so you guys could check that out. There's another one that I'm using called where is it at here? Is it Mind Matters? There's a website called Mind Matters. Mindmatters.ai is another really valuable resource. And then I'm trying to find the other one that I have. Do I have them all list? Moobert. So if you guys need royalty-free audio, Moobert is another really good AI tool and resource to use. Mubert. Moobert, I think it's Moobert.ai. Let me check it out. Let me make sure before I drop that. Moobert.ai. Nope, that's not it. Maybe it's just Moobert.com. Let's see here. Moobert. Yes, it is Moobert. Mubert. And then Corey, you may not know about this one. You may do because you know who Matt Wolf is. Futuretools.io. You guys check that one out as well.
I dropped that link to you guys like a month ago.
That's right.
Futurepedia.
Yeah.
On one of the last
That was
network calls.
crazy.
Yeah. Is that where you found that Replica Studios or that tool? The replicate.com?
No, I saw that on TikTok.
Got it. Yeah, so I'm just looking at I'm at the futuretools.io website right now, and it's insane how many tools they've added. There's literally an AI tool for everything.
So this shows just all the AI tools that are out there right now, correct? Or most of them.
Most of them, yeah, for different things. Yeah, I think I'm going to show you guys one more thing because I've been wanting to talk about this for a while since I found it. Where is it at here? Here we go. Let me hit share. Sorry.
Nice.
All right. So I'm going to share this real quick. So I met a lady, thanks to Amanda. She got an appointment on my calendar, who's connected with this person who created yourglobalvillage.com. This is something you just want to keep on your radar. See how it has like County D, County C, County E. You can visit. It says fully occupied. So this house, I think number 5 is the impact house. And the impact house has a water fountain inside. This tree represents money that was donated. So every time money's donated, it adds another little prong to the tree. But this lady is creating our global. So they earn a leaf, attends a village event, earns a leaf. We buy a plastic waste brick to build a school. So this is a social impact brand that is basically using the metaverse and AI to create an entire society that will be virtual world online. And each of these people have their own houses. So I think hers was number 7, create, sell, impact. I think was hers. No, it wasn't hers. Let me see. Maybe number 17. I can't remember what's her name's house, but they all have their own. So this one's not even open yet. They all have their own house, their own decor, and you're going to be able to travel from village to village and even be able to go down and like walk these streets around. And this is just one little area. So this lady's building out she's building out this entire AI little village, and there's going to be tons and tons of villages. The global square you can see as you're walking through. These are actual 3D AI generated renderings of what these buildings look like. Titan masterminds. You'll be able to build out your own basically storefront. Personal startups, small business, right? Look at this is his environment that he's created. You're gonna be able to host events there. People will be able to have. It's insane how far people are taking AI, blockchain, and metaverse stuff because they all work in hand together. They're all freaking birds of the same feather. So this is something I would just put on your radar because they're going to continue to develop this stuff out. And make it better and better. And this will end up being a full metaverse experience where you'll be able to build your own village, your own house, your own event center, whatever you want inside of your global village. And the lady that's behind this is a doctor. She's got her PhD. She's absolutely brilliant. You can sell products inside of it. I mean, it's just insane. Metaverse business made easy. So I've been talking to her about Lead Butler and what we're trying to do and with Web3 and making the adoption of like websites are going to start moving away from what we see them being typically to metaverse type stuff like this. So just something to be thinking about. I think the AI conversation, we could go down a lot of rabbit holes with this, but I kind of wanted to start with that, kind of see where you guys were at, what you were using, and see if there's any other or questions to close it out. Any other thoughts or questions anybody's got? Sweet. Well, it's basically the top of the hour now, so we're going to be back here next week. I got another really cool topic to kind of share with you guys, something that we're working on and trying to have launched by next week with Lead Butler. I want to show you guys, and then we'll see you guys back here for the next networking call.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Later,
Thank
y'all.
you.